Hi everybody, Judy Tuttle here from Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas, and I'm glad to be with you here today. I'm here a little later than usual on Mondays because we had an awful night trying to get home from Iowa last night. Our first flight going from Cedar Rapids to Dallas was delayed by about an hour. And we had a very short window of layover in Dallas. And so we didn't get into Dallas until about 10:45, and our flight left to come to Midland from Dallas at 10:30. So we had to spend the night in Dallas last night. They put us up in the Atrium Hotel, which is fine, but we didn't even get to our room until 12:30, and we had to get up at 4:30 to get on our next flight this morning to get us home. And so I was not prepared to do my Facebook Live at noon, but I'm here now and I'm excited to be with you. So today I'm going to do two cards with you. Tomorrow I'm going to do two cards with you, and Wednesday I'm going to do a 3D item with you. So come back tomorrow about the same time, and come back on Wednesday probably in the morning, and I will have lots of all the online class to go, wonderful things that we do every week to show you. Okay, when you pop on, will you let me know you're here so that I can say hi to you and I know that you're watching? While we're waiting for people to pop on, I am going to talk to you about some things that we have coming up in my Tuttle Up world. Now, the best way to know about everything in my Tuttle Up world is to be a part of my email list, and I will put a link for you to join my email list in the description of this video after the video is over, as well as the links to all upcoming classes and all of that. But if you really want to be in the know of deadlines and things that times that you need to hit that registration button before it goes away, the best way to know those things is to be a part of my email list. And I give you all the information of not only what's going on in my world. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for being here. I'm so glad you're here. But in the Stampin' Up world as a whole, okay? The second thing I really need you guys to do is that Facebook has changed how long it's keeping Facebook Live videos on my page. I believe it's 30 days now. Hi, Roz. Thanks for joining me. So I know, Kathy, sometimes you're like, Judy, what was that video that you did with that technique in it? And I can't find it now. Well, it's going to really go away on Facebook after about 30 days. But if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, they will be there forever. Okay, so after this video is over, would you please go to Tuttle Up Stamping on YouTube and click that subscribe button for me, and then you'll always have access to my full library of all my Facebook Lives. Okay, all right. So the first thing I want to chat with you about is my Florals in Bloom class. Kathy, I saw that you signed up for this yesterday. So exciting. It is on May the 9th. It is my first big class using product from the new catalog, okay? And the fun thing about this suite, Florals in Bloom, is that it comes with, I think I have everything right here, so let me pull it all out for us here. It comes with all the new ink color stuff. Now, I haven't been able to order the new ink color ribbon yet. Hopefully I'll be able to order it next week when the new catalog goes live. It wasn't something they allowed us to pre-order. So I'm going to show you what you get in this class, okay? You get a half a pack of the Florals in Bloom. Look at this beautiful paper. Okay, I'm going to take the packaging off here and show you how pretty this paper is. Front and back, it's got, this is that new Secret Sea. You can see the strawberry slush, the timid tiger, the darling duckling is in there. The cloud cover is in there. And I'm missing one. What am I missing? Strawberry slush, sea, duckling, tiger, cloud cover. Maybe I'm not. Okay. So look at this one. Oh, I just love, love, love this paper. Um, so pretty. I love delphiniums and foxgloves and everything with spiky flowers. That's the back side of that. So great coordinating pattern. The next, look at this one with that sea, secret sea, and there's some pretty peacock in there. And look at those purples. Aren't those so pretty? I love that. The back side is this green here. Um, this one is fun with those, I think that is peach pie with pumpkin pie and a cloud cover, coastal cabana, the back side of that calypso coral pattern. Here's one that has the cloud cover. This is all the purples and the dies, and one of the die set cuts these pieces out, which is always fun. And then the back side is cloud cover there. So really highlighting all of those new ink colors with this paper. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? I love big, beautiful blooms. But I love big blooms and I cannot lie. Don't think that's how the song goes, but it's cute, right? I think I see some fresh freesia in there. Just beautiful color combinations here. And then a smaller version of those flowers on the back side. Okay, so if you sign up for this class, you get a whole half a pack, 6x12 of that designer series paper. Plenty, right? You're going to make 8 cards, and the bundles we're using are the bundles and the sweet blooms. This is that die set that cuts out the words bloom and lovely, and then you can put it together with all the other sayings to make some really pretty card. Here's the die set for that. You can see the lettering, inside, outside, bubble, outside. And then look at the dies in the pretty florals. Here's the pretty floral stamp set we'll be using. Look at these dies, you guys. They are incredible. Lots of detail in those and layering and all kinds of fun things with that. You're going to get a whole package of the brand new in color flat pearls. And we're going to use various ribbons because we can't get our hands on the in color ribbons ahead of time to design our projects for you. So we might be using, I know we'll be using one of the ones that I'm showing today in our projects. Okay, so Florals in Bloom class, in person or to go, is coming up on May the 9th. I'd love to ship it out to you, or you can come to my house. It is gorgeous, Kathy. It's so much prettier in person than I can even show you. And I fell in love with this suite as soon as I saw it in the catalog. I was like, that is what is going to be my first class. Okay, my BOGO sale is coming up at the end of May. May 23rd will be the in-person BOGO here at my house. May 24th is online. You have to be a part of that BOGO page, which I'll put the link in the description after this is over. So BOGO is when you can buy my retired product that I cannot demonstrate with anymore. And well, I could, but if you want people to buy stuff, you don't show them things they can't buy, right? So, but I allow you to get the exact same amount dollar-wise free out of the new annual catalog, okay? So that means if you pick out $50 worth of retired product, then you can go to the website and pick out $50 of new product. 50-50. It doesn't have to be new. It can be stuff in the online exclusives, but why not start stocking up on those new blends and those new ink colors and all the things that are coming out in the new catalog. So my retired BOGO sale is huge. It'll be done kind of auction style. I will show you the product, and you can say in the chat, I want number 67, I want number 75, I want number 81, and then we total how much you want, and then you get free stuff from the new catalog. Okay, so that's how that works. That's coming up about a month from now, so you need to be a part of that Facebook page though. Okay, all right. So let's go to my hands. Let's tuttle up and do some stamping. Who wants to tuttle up and do some stamping? I do. Okay, so here we go. So today's projects, this week's projects, I should say, are a mashup of three different bundles, really. Okay, well, stamp sets. So the first one that we're going to be using is the Natural Botanicals. This is in the mini catalog, but it's carrying over. It's going to go to the online exclusives. Okay, so Iowa was incredible, Kathy. Just getting home was kind of a nightmare, but we made it. So although these images look small, they really are these are the actual sizes. So they're large. And do you see the shading in the background? Super cool technique that you can do with these stamps. So we're going to be playing with that. The other is an online exclusive that you may have missed. It's called Patterns of Friendship. And look at these, just great sentiments. Thanks for being the best, bestie. Happy birthday. Thinking of you brings a smile to my face. Let's keep in touch. You bring so much joy and laughter to my life. I bet you could probably think of 5 people right now that bring so much joy and laughter to your life, right? And the last one, friends are the family you choose for yourself. I love that, okay? Then, because it's a bundle, look at this die that you get. And at first you might go, oh, I don't know about that. Wait till we're done today. You're going to fall in love with the texture, the background texture that this die gives your products, okay? And we're bringing in that delightful Floral DSP. The DSP itself, Floral Delight, is number 164700. And then there's a vellum of that, 164713. We're going to be using both of those options today. I kind of forgot to give you these. The Pattern of Friendship bundle in the online exclusives is 165385, and it is $48.50 for the die and the stamp set. And then the Natural Botanicals is number 164831. Okay, so you guys know how this goes. You can get a class to go in the mail with any order of $50 or more. We're changed that up. We added a little bit to the bottom line, mainly because I was about to drop all of that on the ground, and that would have been silly since I'm going to be using some of it. I think I have all my paper cut already, so I can move it to the ground. So a $50 order will get you a make and take packet to make all 5 of the projects we do during the week. And a PDF of all the products and the measurements. You always have the videos here, right, to resort to put your projects together. So that's the whole point of the online class to go, right? Okay, so let's get started. We're doing 2 cards today. Sorry, you guys, I suddenly have a tickle in my throat. Okay, so this is the first card. How pretty is that? And can you see that texture in the background there? That is what that die does to your paper. This gold ribbon is coming out in the new catalog. I just love it. I bet it's going to be something. So this is a little sneak peek for those of you who aren't demonstrators. It's called Gold Striped Ribbon, and it's very sheer, very light. It ties beautifully. It's got a lot of shimmer to it, which I love. Okay, it's part of the suite that's called Celebratory Sips, and they are cards that have cocktails on them, and it's fabulous. You're going to fall in love with that. And then also from the Floral Delight suite, we're going to use these little bee trinkets this week. Okay, all right, so here's our first card. Let me grab my packet and we'll start talking through it, okay? So, very simple, but, you know, sometimes you guys, I just love a really simple designed, clean card, okay? This has plenty of layers to make you feel accomplished, right? But I just think it's just so sweet and simple, don't you? And then the inside says, "Thanks for being the best." And another one of those little um, cone flowers, maybe in the corner there. Okay, so we're starting out with a piece of thick white that is 4 1/4 by 11 in length, and I've scored it down the middle at 5 1/2. I'm just going to try to, here it is, my bone folder. I'm going to score that really well right there. Okay. Now, I have cut 2 pieces of white. One is going to be for the inside and one is going to be for the outside. These are cut 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. Now, I'm going to take one of them and I'm going to place it on this die. And the nice thing too is that the stripes on the die really help you to get it lined up very straight. I'm going to take it off camera here to my die cutting machine. And I'm going to run that through. And you're going to see the texture that you're going to get from running it through with that die. Okay, I'm going to go backwards. Get a really good embossing on that. There we go. And then look at the texture on this. Can you guys see that? Kind of hard to catch on camera, but you can certainly feel it for sure. Okay. All right. This one is going to go on the inside, so I'm going to put it off to the side here really quick. I cut a piece of that designer series paper, and this is the one that has the pool party in the background, the Floral Delight paper, and I'm going to adhere it to the front of this embossed white panel about 1/2 inch off the bottom edge. So it's going to go right like that. And you could really use either side of this. I just really liked the blue coming through with those big yellow flowers. How about you? The paper is really pretty. I love yellow and green and blue. These shades are some of my most favorites. Okay, so that goes right there. This one is going to go on flat on top of this gingham paper right here. Okay, this is a piece of that floral gingham vellum. See how you can see through it? So we're going to add Seal Plus to our embossed white panel here. And then I'm going to adhere it to the center of this gingham paper right there. Okay, now this gingham paper is going to get popped up on the front of my card base right here. Okay. Iowa was amazing. So I went to Iowa because my son was giving his final presentation for his master's degree in school leadership. He wants to be a school administrator someday soon, and he is just so talented. It was just such a joy to be able to be there, watch his passion for public school education, his love for being inclusive of all children. It just made my heart swell. It really did. And he's an amazing young man. Despite Jim and I's faults as parents, he turned out pretty darn good. Okay, so here we go. Right on the front right there with dimensionals, okay? Yes. Hi, Brenda. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so now I have a piece of old olive. This is 1/4 inch white, so it's very thin, and it's 4 1/4 inches long. But I'm just going to banner cut both ends of this. There we go. To banner cut, you just kind of put a slit up the center and then go from the sides and create that banner. There we go. Oops, see that one isn't really even very straight here. I can fix that. There we go. All right. So this is going to go right across the front and kind of break up that white space from the DSP. See how it just kind of adds like an clean. It makes it look a little bit cleaner, I think, anyway. So I'm going to adhere this with liquid glue since it's so skinny. It would be hard to get the seal. My darn liquid glue does this to me every time, despite the fact that I try to unclog it before it all starts. So let's see if I can get this one to work, and if not, we're going to resort to the big bottle. I'm just going to resort to the big bottle. I hate fighting with glue bottles. Okay, here we go. There we go. Be very light with that liquid glue. You know, and it just goes to show teachers too. There was one teacher of Carson's that really gave him kind of a hard time in high school. And he came to me once and he said, I just don't see any way he's going to make it through college. And look at him now, right? So I have cut a stitched circle that is 1 by, it's about a 2 1/8 inch in diameter stitch circle from the Stylish Shapes dies. Don't discount anyone. I truly am a believer that all kids can succeed to the level of their passion, right? And probably beyond. Okay, so I'm stamping the flower that's a cone flower right here from the Natural Botanicals in Daffodil Delight. And it's going to get popped up right here. But before that, I'm going to make a faux bow out of my gold ribbon here. You guys know what a faux bow is because I do them almost every time. I don't like a big knot underneath my die cuts. I just feel like it feels too thick and bulky. So I just kind of loop. Let me show you how I do that again. That was very fast. I make a loop and then I make another loop going the other way so it kind of looks like a bow, right, like that. And then I just twist it, okay? So we get that right there. This is going to go right here. Always flip it over. Okay, I'm putting my finger right there. It's going to go right there in that corner. And I'm going to grab a piece of tear and tape to just kind of hold it in place. You guys looking forward to the new catalog? I really am. I been waiting. Of course, I saw it in mid-March, so it feels like now forever that we've had it. We haven't really been able to use it. So this ribbon, though, we're using this week, by golly. This gold metallic. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so this is going to get popped up right here on the front of this card. Press that down just a little bit. And I'm going to grab some dimensionals. Right, Brenda, I bet you kind of feel that way. We saw the new catalog at On Stage in March, and it just feels like, come on already. Let us order from it. We were able to get a few things we wanted, but they don't let us get everything. We weren't even allowed to get the ink color ribbon or blends this time. Usually they kind of let us have that ahead of time. But I will tell you guys out there, there's going to be a new join special coming up in May, and it usually involves if history repeats itself, the new ink colors in some way. Like maybe you get all the blends for free, or you get all the ink pads for free. So be keeping your eye out for that if you're thinking about joining a team, my team, and specifically, I would love to have you on my team. I love my ladies. They're just the best. They're very encouraging and fun. Okay, so there we go. There's that so far. Okay, and then I'm gonna add my bees. B, 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 B. Oh, good. Good. I'm glad, Kathy. I know it's so cute. Hi. And you are, oh, Kathy. Kathy's daughter goes to church with me here in Midland, and she told me that you were a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I know that you've watched my videos one or two times before. I'm now, streaming to YouTube at the same time. Okay, this is just the most frustrating thing. So I'm going to go back to my. Why do I make it so hard on myself? Okay, so here we go. Just a tiny dot. I'm putting tiny dots just where I want my bees. And I want one right here. So glad you joined me live, Kathy. It's fun to have you here. There we go. So the biggest reason people join a team is just because they want to get a discount, right? And the thresholds are low. If you are new to stamping, especially, and you have a lot you need to stock up on, that is the best time to join a team. Then hopefully you love us enough that you want to stay with us. Okay, how pretty is that? Sweet and simple. Do you guys like sweet and simple? I do. I think it's so pretty. Okay, so I'm not even going to put a sentiment on the front of that card because I didn't want to cover anything up. Everything was so pretty. So we're going to put the sentiment on the inside. So let's see here. I'm going to open this up, and I decided to cut my vellum to go from side to side here. So this is going to get attached right here, right in the middle of that panel. So to say I'm a little tired today is an understatement. We had to wait for an Uber to take us to the hotel that they set us up in. And so by the time we got a room and got settled, it was after midnight. And then we had to be up by about 4:20 to get out the door, grab another Uber, head back to the airport for our 7 a.m. flight. So, okay, so there is my gingham vellum on the inside there. Now, before I put this panel, again, 3.5 by 4 3/4 is the size of the white panels today. I am going to stamp here in the corner with my Daffodil Delight, another one of those flowers. You guys know I love to bring the outside to the inside. So I'm going to stamp that right here in the corner. Love it. And then I'm going to grab the sentiment that says, my old olive ink here. I'm only using 4 colors of ink today on all of these cards. Very minimal. Because you remember our first day cards are our simple cards, right? So I'm stamping thanks for being the best. The best. I love to say that to people. You're just the best. Right? Okay. And then this is going to get it here to the inside. So day 1, simple card number 1 is done. Move this down about right there. I really like that gingham peeking out from behind the inside of that card. So there we go. There's card number 1. Do you guys like it? Does it bug you there's not a sentiment on the front? It doesn't bug me at all. I just loved that paper so much. And think about it. Let me show you. If I would have grabbed a, a, a banner for that sentiment, it would cover up all that beautiful paper. And I love it too much to cover it up. Okay, so there's card number 1. I hope you guys love that. And let's go on to our second card for today. This one is so pretty, and this has Monica written all over it, right? So Monica Gabberty and I collaborate on our weekly online classes to go. We have a very similar style, and we just work really well together. So so this is card number 2. So pretty. I love all the layers. Thinking of you brings a smile to my face. So pretty. Again, using that embossed die to create that texture and design in the back, and then a little stamping on the inside. Okay, so there you go. See, me too, Kathy. Great minds think alike, right? Okay, so here we go. This time for card number 2, I am starting with a card base that is 4.5 by 8.5. I said that wrong, sorry. 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the middle at 4.25. Keep in mind, I got very little sleep last night, so I'm just glad to be here right now. Okay. Now, I've got a piece of that Floral Delight DSP. I love the yellow and the green, right? So pretty. We're going to actually use that pattern on the front as well. So I'm just going to adhere this to my card base. This is a 4 by 5.25 panel of DSP. Okay. And then this is 2.5 by 5.25. It is Pool Party. And I've already run it through that embossed die. Look at the texture on that. Now on this card, I laid it down so that the texture side, the bubbles were up. Okay. This one, I'm going to lay it down so the bubbles are down. It doesn't really matter. You do you. You do what feels good to you. Okay, so this panel, 2.5 by 5.25, I embossed it with that die that comes in the Patterns of Friendship. And I'm going to adhere this to the card base, but a little bit at a diagonal here. Just slightly askew. Okay, there we go. Now, this is the other side of that paper. It is this crumb cake, kind of burlapping, fabric-y looking, and it is 1 inch by 4.25 inches. And it's just going to go across the middle here, kind of add an interesting layer underneath and over. There we go. From side to side. Right, like that. Okay. Then I cut the largest square from my stylish shaped dies right here, the very largest, in basic white, and I'm going to do some stamping on it. So I've got this giant leaf here, and what you'll notice about all these stamps is that one side is detailed, has a detail, more kind of line image to it, and the other side you can flip it over into a solid image from the other side. But for the front of our card, we are just going to use the detailed side. I'm going to pull out my old olive here, and I'm going to stamp it twice. I'm going to stamp it once with full ink, kind of right in this side right here. Okay, and then I'm going to pick it up without re-inking it and stamp it again. Does anybody know what that's called? When you pick it up and stamp it again without re-inking. So pretty, right? So same color, The first one is just stamped full strength, and the second one is stamped without re-inking it. Okay. Now that I have the old olive ink out, I'm going to go ahead and do the inside of my card here. So for the inside of my card, again, I'm going to ink up the same leafy pattern. And I'm going to stamp it right here in this corner, a little bit off the page. There we go. And I'm going to clean it. I'm going to flip it over to the wrong side. I'm going to ink it again. It's going to give me a solid image, but I don't want it super dark like that, so I'm going to stamp it off once and then stamp it right here, kind of overlapping that other leafy pattern, right like that. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Okay, I can put my old olive away. I'm not going to need it, and I can go ahead and adhere this panel to the inside, because that's going to be my inside panel. Second generation! You're right, Kathy. Boop, 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 boop. Good job. It's called second generational stamping. Wonder who taught you that. You're really good about watching lots of people's videos, though, so I should not take credit for teaching you that, though, but if I did, kudos to me. All right, so here we go. I've got this white square, and I'm going to put it on the front, but I'm going to diagonal it, turn it a little bit to the left, right like that, okay? I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back and pop it up. And then I'm getting pretty close to being done. This card is one that anybody who receives it is going to love it, right? Because it just looks like you've put a lot of detail into it, which you have. Okay, so I have some white scraps here, and I'm going to do two things on this scrap. I am going to stamp my single daisy, coneflower, whatever you want to call it. And this time I'm going to stamp it in crushed curry. So I'm going to stamp the detail first. Or is that the detail? Nope, that's the solid image. Okay, I'm going to ink up the solid image. You can do it either way, it doesn't matter. And second generation ink there. And then I'm going to clean this off and flip the stamp over. And then I'm going to stamp the flower right inside that shadow image, right like that. Isn't that cool? So can you see how the second generation is just peeking out? And so the first generation is the detail, and the second generation is stamped off once, okay? Okay, then, before I put this crushed curry away, I want the sentiment, but I just want the word smile to be crushed curry. I don't care about the rest of the sentiment, so right now. So I'm just gonna stamp it right like that, okay? Now, you're going to stick your hand in your ink pad. No, you're not. Don't do what I do. Okay. Pull out my crumb cake circle. This is 1 3/4 inch wide. It's one of the stitched circle shapes. There we go. It needs to go like that. And after I clean this, I'm going to stamp it on that circle in Memento Black. Following me here? Okay, just gonna go. I'm gonna pull this down a little bit so I can see it a little bit better. Make sure I fit all the important words inside that circle right there. All right. This circle is going to go right on the front right here, but I'm going to do a faux bow in that gold ribbon again underneath it. I have a fabulous fun fold card for you. I got one in as a swap and I was like, man, I have never seen anything like that. So I'm excited to share it with you. It's going to be fun. And guess what it does? It sits up like an easel, but it's very detailed. It's very cool. Okay, I'm picking a piece of tear and tape here. Tearing a piece off to hold my ribbon in place right there. Okay, and then this is going to get adhered right here on this side next to that, maybe a little further down like this. Now, the bow is going to kind of hold it up, but I do want to put one dimensional. How about a big one right here? So some of the things I'm looking forward to in the new catalog are the boho rainbow set. I love, love, love that one. I love the washi tape one. I can't remember what the name, but we have this, you guys, we have this giant washi tape that can be cut out with a die. It is very cool. Never seen anything like it before. That tear and tape doesn't want to hold very well, so I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue underneath this bow here. There we go. Oh my goodness, my whole tear and tape's kind of losing it on me here. Okay, so how about I just put a block on this and let it sit for a moment while I fussy cut out my other things. Sound like a good idea? Okay, so that's just going to sit and hopefully all gel together right there. I'm going to grab my detailed scissors here, and I'm going to just kind of cut out the word smile here. You guys proud of me for not using the white ribbon with the silver edge? It's my favorite ribbon. But I just felt like this one needed some of that gold, even though you can't get your hands on it if you're not a demonstrator for a little while. It is so pretty. It is so pretty in person. I have a feeling next week I'm going to be buying quite a few rolls of it because I believe I'll probably be using it in some upcoming classes. Okay, so I just fussy cut out the word smile, and I'm going to fussy cut this flower right here. Just right around the edges. This stamp set, Floral Botanicals, Natural Botanicals is the name of it, does not have a die set that coordinates with it, but the images are pretty easy to fussy cut out. Going around each of those little petals, trying to capture that background, second generational ink on the background. So this Thursday, we have an exciting weekend coming up. We have a busy weekend coming up. This Thursday, I bought my siblings and my husband and I tickets to see Mercy Me and Zach Williams at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth. It's a pretty big venue, so we're excited about that. And we have to leave here about 9 because we leave Oh my gosh, I keep picking up that same glue bottle. I want to put flat ink, flat glue right there and a dimensional right here, because part of this circle is going to adhere to this square panel that's already popped, and part of it is going to be off the page right there. Okay, so there we go. But this smile that is crushed curry is going to go right over that smile right there. Okay, so I'm going to put a little liquid goo. I popped it up on mine original, and I don't think I like it. I think I would like this better flat. So it was like, I don't know, weird. It felt weird to me. I don't know why. Okay, but this is going to get popped up, this flower. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Mercy Me or Zach Williams. They're both Christian bands, but I just love me. I think Mercy Me is the headliner, but to be honest, I am super excited about Zach Williams. I've seen him like 3 or 4 times. I just love the tone of his voice. He's just so awesome. So that's going to be Thursday night. So we'll leave around noon on Thursday, head that way, spend the night with my brother in the Fort Worth area, and then come home later that day. Okay, so I'm going to get my bees. I'm going to sprinkle on a few bees here. One right there. So I like to put my dots down. If they're not an adhesive embellishment, adhesive back, like these bees don't have adhesive on the back of them. So I like to put my dots down first, and then I can just grab my bees and lay them on top of the dots. Makes it just really easy. What would really make this easy is my take your pick tool. Let's see if I can put my hands on it right here. If not, I'll just use my scissors. I'm not seeing it. It's okay. It's what my fingernails are for. So here's bee number 1. Just going to lay it right on top. It's easier when you just lay it right on top of the glue there. Here's bee number 2. This one's going to be kind of flying away from the flower. There we go. And then here is bee number 3 up here in this corner by this old olive leaf right there. So I'm excited about that. And then we're just about a week and a half away from our Disney trip that I earned last year through Stampin' Up. So we're excited to go, Jim and I, together to Disney World. So here we go. There's card number 2. So these are our 2 cards for today. Like I said, I got in this morning instead of last night, so I didn't have time to put 3 cards together, but we'll get all of them in before the end. So this is card number 2 for today, and this is simple card number 1. Do you guys like it? Do you like how we kind of put all those things together? Oh, I forgot about the party banners. Brenda, yes, we have these new party banners, you guys, of these large alphabet dies that are incredible. Gosh, I just keep adding to my list here. My order next week's going to be humongous, but lucky you, right? Because you guys all benefit from that. So I love all the new ink colors as well. You guys, thank you so much. I hope you love my projects today. Let me move these down a little bit so you can see them under our banners. As you know, you're going to go right up there to my Tuttle Up shop, place an order of $50 or more if you would like to get this online card class in the mail. First 2 projects done and shown. Okay, 2 more tomorrow, 1 more on Wednesday. And they're beautiful. I hope you guys love them as much as I do. Remember to go to Tuttle Up Stamping on YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then you know that you can get my videos anytime you want, and they're not going to disappear like Facebook's going to make them disappear here pretty soon. So God bless everybody. I will see you back here probably about 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon as well. All right? See you soon. Bye-bye.